on to the story that we have been waiting for this evening. Youth unemployment remains a significant concern, with a high percentage of young people facing difficulties entering the workforce. As a result, though not easy and pleasing to their parents, most of them venture into entrepreneurship. Here is a story of Millicent Kirugumi and Gamaliel Gerishom, who chose to break the matrix and follow their passion rather than their profession. According to World Bank on the Kenya Skill Profile, approximately 30% of university graduates in Kenya are unable to find jobs aligned with their fields of study within 2 years after graduation. Many of them eventually shift to unrelated fields, including entrepreneurship. At the same time, a 2022 study by Kenya National Bureau of Statistics found that nearly 40% of small and medium enterprise owners in Kenya had degrees in fields unrelated to their business ventures. The switch to entrepreneurship is often driven by a combination of push and pull factors, which include lack of job opportunities in their trained fields, layoffs or dissatisfaction with traditional employment, the desire for autonomy, financial freedom, and pursuing personal passions or gaps seen in the market. For Millicent Kirugumi, now the founder of Valin Naturals, it was a forced move predefined for her by the system.
I did education, I did mathematics and business studies. But I had one challenge. Anytime you would go to look for a job, you realize that, in TSC, the people who have cleared school like a few years before you, they get the job before you. Especially with my course, whereby there are not many schools that have business as a compulsory subject. So I would hope for a job, looking for anywhere that I can get through the interview. And at the end of it all, I found like this is becoming too tiring.
Millicent shares her journey through various business ventures before deciding on building her own company.
The best fallback plan was online work. So I went to online. I have done online for really like 8 years. I've done tuber business, But along the way, you realize that this business has challenges, despite the fact that you see it thriving with other people out there. It is not as you thought. So at some point, I felt like I needed something that I have some control over. Something that I can determine the quality of it.
Gamaliel Gerishom, who is now the CEO of Permanent Success Consultancy, also shares a similar narrative about the diversion of his career path.
When I joined campus as a teacher. I should be in class currently teaching Kiswahili and CRE. Yeah, so sometimes I think about it and look at the milestones that I have made and just think about many other people. The journey is interesting for those who want to take risks, who believe in themselves and do not just want to limit themselves in something which they do not believe this is my lifetime affair.
But every magnificent entrepreneurial venture is driven by passion.
It's important for you to become before you have. So becoming has to do with a lot of skills and mindset. Because even me as an entrepreneur, I'll tell you there are certain months I'm not making profits. But if I've not become an entrepreneur, definitely I'll think about employment again.
For Millicent, she drew her purpose from the pain she encountered as a result of stigmatization from having an acne-prone skin.
I wanted somebody, a young person, or those ladies, to feel like they are beautiful, they are worth it, so that even when they step out in confidence, this person feels, yeah, I am worthy. And they can be able to appreciate their skin, you see, they can appreciate their skin without having to bleach and feel like now I have to be brown so that I'm beautiful.
Being a young entrepreneur, Millicent says the venture has its fair share of challenges and setbacks.
There is, number one, a lot of competition. Then you realize there are so many counterfeit products. When you are delving into natural business, it asks for heavy capital investment. Because the ingredients you use, they are expensive, and you want to give people quality. You want to give people the best. So when you are driven by passion, even you are able to navigate through challenges. Because Valin Naturals is basically my passion.
Gamaliel Gerishom, on his part, explains the leading cause of small business failure within the first quarter of operation.
Many people who have quit employment to come to business, a good chunk of them have failed. Why? Because they were just happy. They were over ambitious. If you are coming to business, make sure you have at least not less than 3 months money or finances that can sustain that business without you saying that you are paying yourself or you are paying others, so that the business can pick and then it can now sustain itself.
He stresses on the importance of having mentors, doing research, and undergoing training to help avert operation setbacks that arise from having limited knowledge and skills.
I always say that person who is at the top of the mountain knows how to get there. But if someone just admires to be on top of the mountain, they can easily lead you astray because they don't know how to get there. Never underestimate the power of accountability partners in business. Someone who keeps checks and balances. You don't do things alone. Even me, I have a mentor, I have a coach who I have to submit my reports by the end of the month, telling him this is what I've achieved, this is what I've not been able to achieve, and stuff like that.
I went through a vigorous training on formulations, but it all starts from understanding the skin, So I had through a training on skin, then I went through a vigorous training on formulations, so that I'm able to formulate according to the skin type. And something that personally I would have wanted the government to give me is to help me access the government facility where